I don't need the NFL when I've already got $1 million in the bank.
Son, we need to talk about your future.
Please listen to your coach.
How NIL money has completely changed student athletes' dreams. This is the Raising Carter podcast. I am your host, Ramon Weatherall, and I'm not flying solo this time. I got my brother Vern Starks back with me talking about NIL, talking about sports, because both was I'm a big sports fan, he's a big sports fan, and I got a video that really it's something that if you're a father, mother, anybody who's got relatives that are good athletes, have aspirations to play college sports, this is something you need to talk about. This is something you need to talk about because it ain't the same no more. It's not the same anymore. We always knew people were getting paid, but now they're getting paid. They getting paid.
It's a new day, pay.
I'm gonna kick to this video and then we gonna chop up some game.
It don't bother me one bit. Yeah, to me, to be honest with you, I love the challenge. It don't bother me one bit because you know what? In life, you're gonna make decisions, right? Sometimes it's gonna work in your favor and sometimes it's not. I told our team the other day, we lost all these guys. Let's see who plays. So it's all good when people put it on Twitter, hey, all glory to God, I'm going on the transfer portal. Let's see if they play. How many of those guys going to play or travel or get snaps? I was going to tweet something the other day, a picture of me, and say, you know what? I enjoyed my college experience. I didn't get one dime, but the lessons I learned was more valuable than any money you can ever pay me. And I appreciate that because that is long term. People are losing the fact that this is short term. I coached in the National Football League for 5 years. 5 years. Right? Don't lose focus of what the long term. Get your degree, learn valuable lessons that's going to help you in the long term of your life. That's the whole purpose. This is a transition from being a kid to a grown-up. And I hope people don't lose focus of that. Everybody's talking about everything else besides what is the most important thing for going to college. Because if you're going to college to go get a couple dollars, you might as well go get a job. This is too hard to go get a couple dollars. Learn the lessons that you need to learn to be successful in life for the next 40 to 50 years of your life. I would do it again for free, because of the things I learned. That's why I'm standing here today, because of what I learned in college, not because of how much somebody gave me. That's what I would tell people. And parents, they need to learn that lesson too. Stop trying to live through your kids. Go teach your kids what are the things they need to learn to be successful. That's what I'm telling my kids. I don't care about no NIL, no revenue share. I can care less. You need to learn things in college to get you prepared for life, to be a father, a husband, to work, everything else. Those are the most important.
All right. Coach Thomas Hammock from Northern Illinois, the football team, giving his 2 cents on this NIL thing. And I saw that video and I said, there's no other better man that I got to talk about this, who's got a strong opinion on this. He got his own, he's got it. Hey, man, I like it. He got a strong opinion about this. So, Mr. Starks, Mr. Vernon Starks, welcome back to the Raising Carter podcast. And what is your opinion on that video clip right there?
First off, thanks for having me again, my good brother. First off, he said one thing that stood out. I didn't get a penny back when they wasn't doing this when you were getting recruited, bro. First off, they wasn't giving out hundreds of thousands of dollars when you was recruited. So that's one. And I do agree with him when he said that, you need to focus more on getting a degree and things of that nature. But right now, with all this money that they're giving out, kids aren't really even focusing on graduating and getting a degree. How many people do you know that's in the league now that was one and done and went back to school to get their degree later on, right? So, and speaking of that, it's a kid that transferred from his school to Texas Tech. He was a defensive tackle, got 850,000.
Wow, man.
Like, so he's talking about they like, oh, are you gonna play? Are you gonna get snaps and all that? These kids got this money. They could care less if they played one single snap. It's all about taking care of your family. A lot of these kids, college kids, got children of their own while they're in college. They gotta take care of their family. They're not worried about graduating and getting a job that might not even be in the field of their studies anyway.
Right.
They gotta get that money while it's here for them, bro.
Man, it's I agree. I can't really disagree with it's so many levels just to his video. The one thing in the beginning of what he was saying I think is true is that some of these kids need to realize that you might not be that dude. So you better make you know what I'm saying? Like they say, make your next move your best move. You better make sure it's your best move that you really gonna get that paper when you move it. Like my father said before, told me before, he was like, hey, hell, a couple $1,000,000, that's a college education right there. You know what I'm saying? So I am not hating on no dude getting no money, but I think a lot of times, kind of like when I interviewed Corwell Melvin my last interview, he was saying that sometimes it's not as sweet. People think they jumping in this portal, and some of these kids, I think that point the coach was making is true. But like you saying, Vern, it's some of these dudes making more money than some of these dudes in the league. They're making more money than you would make if you signed a rookie deal. So
Absolutely. And
yeah.
and you're right.
So yeah. I mean, what do you want them to do? But another good point that I want you to talk about is the point he talked about the parents. Because these parents are getting all they getting. They're a lot of these parents are living through these kids and they're all in the business, all in the way, messing up deals. What do you think about that?
Um, that's a big problem. But let me backtrack a little bit. Kids that are putting their name in the transfer portal, right? They're going to these big lucrative schools that got more money to offer than a Northern Illinois or whatever. If you were a kid, let's just say if you were a 4-star, 5-star kid, and you're at a Northern Illinois, then a Power Five come knocking at your door, and they like, look, you can make this over here. Like, you got to think about your future in that aspect as well. Everybody ain't going to the NFL,
Right,
and everybody's job after college ain't finna pay them 800, $900,000
right.
neither. So these kids got big decisions to make, and I think coaches of these programs that are having these kids transfer need to take that into consideration, that we're losing kids, but they're also transferring for the bigger picture and what's best for them. Um, as it relates to the parents have a big hand in all of this as well, because they're looking for a payday as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your kid get paid, you get paid, basically. That's how it is. And I think a lot of kids aren't even looking at the future as well as them securing their future and a degree and all that. Their kid got 900,000 on the table right now. Let's take this money now and worry about what happens later on. I think that that's where the parents are making a mistake, but it's not a bad mistake to make when you come from wherever they coming from.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to tell somebody turn down 800 900 a million, turn it down for a college education. I mean that's you sound it's that sounds real crazy, but you made a good point of how these kids are. They like, hey man, this money is here right now. This money is here right now. I'm not guaranteed to go into the NFL, to the NBA, to the major baseball. But coaches are having to coach around that and deal with that. And I got a clip from Penny Hardaway when he was talking about that.
When those guys get those NIL deals, right? Do you think that's taking the hunger out of the game?
I'm witnessing it because I'm in the middle of it. It's definitely taking the hunger out of the game.
Placency setting in, like what's to it?
Most guys are saying, hey man, I ain't even caring about the league. If I could get $2 million back to back, I can just ride off in the sunset. I can go look at the league a little bit. If it don't work, I got this money to fall back on. They're looking at it as fallback money. They ain't even thinking I got to grind this year to get to the league because, that was a motivation. That ain't the motivation no more. They like, I can take this money and just ride off in the sunset. So whatever they bring it to the table, right, on that year is what they bring it to the table. You can't hurry them. You can't make them go harder. It's like, this is me.
I mean, you made a good point, a great point, and he solidified it. I wouldn't want to be no coach in this mess, and I wouldn't want to be no parent in this mess, because how you gonna tell a kid that's making $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million what to do? How you gonna tell them what to do? I make more than you in a couple games than you make all year, Dad. How you telling me what to do? I'm taking care of y'all.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's you have, man. That's when the parenting way before gonna have to come in. Because if you don't have any any structure, and if they don't value your opinion, it's over. It's over.
Absolutely. And Penny Hardaway said, like, he's living it. He's in the midst of it because he's a Division I
Right.
coach. You know what I'm saying? So he's in the midst of it. But what coaches are doing now is they're not even going out and recruiting these 4 or 5-star athletes, because they know after one season, especially if this guy is coming in as a freshman, after one season of having 5 or 6, averaging 2 or 3 sacks or 12 to 15 points a game, you either go to the league or that NIL money is going to come from
Somewhere else.
Texas, Florida State, one of them big schools, and you about to lose this kid anyway.
Yep. Yeah,
So
I think Rick Pitino was saying that. Like, I'm not even recruiting these young players, these young kids, because I already know what's up. We already know what's up with them.
How about freshman recruiting? No one's recruiting freshmen. You know why? Two reasons: because kids will transfer and they can cherry pick. There were coaches this summer not out one time evaluating freshmen.
Well, why would that be?
Because they're only going to take transfers, and they're going to cherry pick, and they're going to pay more than the school that they're leaving. They're just going to say, we're cherry picking. That's what you want in college athletics. How about this? We played against kids that were 27, 28 years old. My guys, we had the youngest team in the SEC. So my 18-year-old played against a 26-year-old. So tell me why a 26-year-old is still in college. They're getting paid, and they're looking like, I can't make this money the rest of my life. If I could stay till 32, I'll stay till I'm 32.
And
right,
like you just said, Vern, now these teams, St. John's and all these teams, I got access to your player. It wasn't like that before. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, I like him. I like him. Hey,
right.
You sure you want to play over there? You sure? That's what that video, and that's what Penny was
Mhm.
saying. He was like, yeah, these coaches, these schools are they're tampering with these players all year. Oh, he only gave you
Mhm.
600,000. We'll give you $1 million over here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's basically like a bidding
Yep.
war, basically. So that's why now you see these coaches recruiting the 2, 3 star
Mm-hmm.
athletes because of that hunger that
Yep.
Penny was
Yep.
talking
Yep.
about. Now, the 5 star athlete ain't got the same hunger because they know that they one and done
Right.
anyway in a NBA. If you average 10 points now at a Power 5
Yeah.
school, you're gonna go to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
league.
If you 19 years old and you average, like you said, 10, 12 points, you gone. Because it's based
Exactly.
off on potential. Oh, he's only 19. He's averaging 15 points a game. Oh yeah. And the coach is gonna tell you, what's the point of you staying here? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Hey, for instance, like the kid that was the number one that just came out that's going to
Yeah.
BYU. Why do you think he picked BYU out of every college in the world that he could have went to? The Dukes, the Carolinas, the Kentuckys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It had nothing to do with they want to paint the picture, oh, he's want to be close to home and all that. The bottom line is they offer was here and Duke's them was here.
Yep. Yeah.
He don't care about when last time have we seen a BYU game on national TV? Come on, bro. Come on. Come on, man. Because he know he got that
Right.
money and he's gonna be one and
Yeah.
done. Regardless to what he averaged, he's gonna be one and
Yep.
done.
Yeah. Agree. Yeah. I agree. I agree. And I think the first video, like you said, the first coach, he's speaking. Most time when people give their opinion is based upon the situation that they're in.
Mhm.
Northern Iowa, like you said, Vern. I mean, Northern Illinois, you're not getting.
Mhm.
You probably don't have the money to pay these guys a lot of money. You're not getting 4 and 5 star players. So you feel a type of way. You know what I mean? You're not getting the players that Deion Sanders would get. You're not getting that type of player. So you're going to feel that type of way.
Absolutely.
You're going to have this type of opinion. But here, we just keeping it real. We just keeping it real.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
I'm not mad at no kid for getting no money. But you got a lot of time ahead of you, and don't blow the whole bag. You know what I mean? Don't mess it up. So I don't really think like you said, some of these 5 star dudes, I don't really see how you can mess it up unless you do something criminal or something like that. They're gonna pick you anyway. They're gonna pick you anyway.
Absolutely.
They're gonna pick you anyway. They're
Absolutely.
gonna pick you anyway.
Right. So one more thing about the first guy in the first video. He's on here talking about some it really doesn't bother me and all these guys transferred. But in reality, it does bother you because if you have a unsuccessful program, now they're looking for your
Yeah,
job. Now the higher ups are
right.
looking to replace
Yeah,
you. So you have to have some type of
right,
care. So you do
right.
care. You can't control it, but you have to care about it because now you're coaching not so good players, and if you only win one game, they're going to be looking
Well,
for to
yeah,
replace you.
you out of there. And where of all these guys are leaving, where you getting more players from? You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
they're just you gonna get some walk-ons. You know what I mean? So yeah, you do care.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
let's just keep it real. No one's knocking down Northern Illinois'
No,
door to
no,
come
no,
there.
no.
if if you can go to Texas or Texas Tech
Right,
or
right.
somebody that's on Saturday every single Saturday and we see them.
Yeah, it's not a even playing field based upon the money. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It used to be the school had all this money. These big schools, they had all this money, and that's why the kids went there. But better facilities, better this and that. But now they're taking that money, giving it directly to the player. So, like you said, I'm not gonna go to Northern Illinois and Texas, you know what I'm saying, or Florida, or you know what I'm saying, or UCLA gonna give me, and it probably even you talking about the good player, I mean the great players, but even the good players are probably getting some type of offers. You know what I mean? Like, hey, hey, come over here, we give you extra 100,000. You know, like, for some lineman or somebody. Like, hey, that's some good money for like you said. What are these? I would like to know the average graduation rate of most of these players, and then like you said, what are they going to school for? You know what I mean? What are they going to school for? And then so how are you gonna turn down 5 years of salary? You know how you gonna how you it, it's impossible to do, but he did make one good point, and I think it's something that this is the Raising Carter podcast. This is about fatherhood coaching. You better get your mess together with your son or daughter as far as what's going on with this money, because yeah, it's a lot of money, but they're kids, they're young people, they can blow through it.
Oh yeah,
So it
for sure.
and I forget that quarterback's name that was at Tennessee, and his father and his agent was getting all in the mix, and he ended up transferring. They end up costing him money. They end up costing him money, and that's where you don't want to be. So yeah, it's important for parents to know. You need to know this kind of stuff. If you got an athlete that has a chance, you need to know something about the NIL. You need to know something. You need to talk about finances with your kid, because if you don't, it's a lot of money, but they can blow right through it
Fast,
fast.
because we've all seen it happen. Like it's happening now to these ex NBA dudes or some of these NBA dudes.
Yeah,
So it's actually happening
yeah. Look
for
at
sure.
what's the dude, the Morris brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's not to mention what's Malik Beasley messing off money. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like
Yeah.
it's a lot of
It,
it's a lot of
it
money to everyday working people, but if you don't know what you're doing with the money, you'll blow through it just like that. Because
right. 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 So I think that when we was growing up and when we was playing ball and all that, and if we was raising kids then, I think we pushed the education piece a lot more, the college degree piece a lot more. Now I think if if this guy got a guaranteed lottery pick in his household, he's not pushing that college degree as much. Do you think again? Let's go back to the dude that is going to BYU. Do you think he's going to cross the stage at BYU?
no,
That dude's gonna do one year at BYU, average double digits, and be the first pick and get 50 million.
With the first pick in the draft, the Wildcats select.
yeah, no,
He might think about going back later on in life and graduating and all that, but that ain't at the forefront of his brain right now.
nah. But this is a good point that I don't want to miss. Everybody ain't like that kid. You know what I'm saying? So
Very true.
if you not on that level, if you're not on that level or somewhere near that level, you, like I said a couple minutes ago, you better make your next move your best move. You better make sure. I'm all for you. If somebody said they're gonna pay you more money to play football, to play basketball, man, you better get your ass somewhere, man. You better go on, and you better get that money to play a sport. You're not gonna get no complaints from me, but you better hope it's the right situation. It's gotta be that's gotta play into, some of it too, if you want to go farther. But you made a point before.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them like, dude, I don't even care. I, it,
Right.
it doesn't mean that much to me anymore if I play or not that much. You know what I'm saying? Like all that, I'm getting the bag right now. So this is wild, man. This is more than
I mean, right. And just one more point. So, but nowadays you don't even gotta be the Batista cat that's going to BYU. They sending cats to the league that average 6 points a game in college
yeah,
because they're basing it off of
partic-
how are you going to
yeah,
be in the next 3 to 5
yeah,
years.
yeah,
So if they see that potential, you're gonna go lottery.
yeah.
You know the top 10 picks in the NBA are guaranteed money.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So you don't have to be a 5-star dude averaging 20 coming out of college. You can average 10 and 3 assists, but they like,
yeah.
okay, this kid is going to be
Right,
nice in a few
right.
years, and then they're gonna give you a deal, man.
Yeah, and then they gonna give you a deal, and that from there, it's a whole nother, thing. But
Mm.
how NIL money is completely changing student athletes. How can you not take take a hard look at those opportunities? People want to be on this old school stuff, stick with the school that recruited you, all this, you're not being loyal. Man, these schools aren't loyal to players.
They're not.
They'll get rid of you. They'll tell you we're going in another directions fast as hell. That's what that when I interviewed Corwell Melvin, that's what he said one of his sons had to go through. They basically told him
Mhm,
you can get in the portal. They basically told him,
mhm,
they can't just take your scholarship from you, but they can, they can make it so you don't want to be there.
mhm. Yeah, man. This like you said, this has totally ruined the whole thing, bro. But it's 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 long coming though.
Yeah,
Like they've been using these players' names and image and
yeah,
likeness for a long
yeah.
time, bro. So they're finally benefiting off of it, which I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah, man. I mean, hell, the Fab Five was more popular than the NBA teams.
Absolutely.
They owe them millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, yeah, Chris Webber and Jalen Rose made a lot of money, but what about the other? Well, yeah, Juwan Howard too, but the other two, they didn't make.
Yeah.
They
Right.
deserve a bag. They deserve a bag. Jimmy
Absolutely.
King and the other brother, both of them, they deserve a bag because you made millions and millions of dollars off them.
So you don't think Jimmy King would have transferred to Georgetown
Oh
and left the
yeah,
Fab Five if they would have gave him some
oh
bread?
yeah,
Come on, man. Come on,
he
bro.
would have been.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess as a parent, it it's more of what do you value
Right.
more? Do you
Good
value
point.
your son crossing the stage and having this degree to fall back on, or do you want to get up out the ghetto in your living
Yeah.
situation because it's time for my son and our family to do
Yeah,
well?
that's a very, very good point. You have to be on the same team. You have to be when y'all walk into whatever meetings, whatever, y'all gotta be on the same page. You can't let nobody twist you and turn you around. This is the direction we going. We want him to go to the league, or we want him to have a good education. We want him to get a good education first. Yeah, whatever that means. But but you got to be on the same page. And before we end it, I want to show you this video and see what you think about this right here.
Do you know what he would be if he had Joe's size? Understand that? But here's the plot twist. Do you know what you would be if you had his heart? You're too cool, bro. You're too cool. And I'm telling you right now, I love you and your family. But if you don't switch, that switch of inconvenience and love to embrace it, you're just going to be,
I think that's a little bit what is going on right now. They got the stars in their eyes. They see the money signs and they acting like that. But that's what I was talking about. You can mess the whole bag up with that type of attitude. You can mess it all up. You will be a 6'10", a 6'7" receiver or whatever it is you are. And you will mess everything up if you don't have that dog in you like Cam Newton is talking about. What you think about that?
Man, I think that was so clutch. Like that was dope because like no matter your talent level, right? You still got to work
Yep.
hard, right? Because there's cats
Yep.
that's coming for your
Every
spot,
year.
bro. Like cats are like you coming into a school as this number one pick and blah blah blah. You don't think cats is waiting to show that you ain't like that?
Yeah.
Like cats are waiting to knock you off that square. So if you just happen to be blessed with the talent, and talent alone takes people very, very far. Now, don't get me
Right.
wrong. But you have to have like he had, like Cam said, you have to have heart and all that shit combined with your athleticism and everything that's gonna get you where you need to be. So that was dope by Cam Newton.
Yeah, I thought that was I had to find somewhere to use that because that was dope, man. That was and more.
That was.
Yeah, I hope people watch to the end of this video so they can see that, man, because that's what you need to tell your if your son is able to even get the hint of getting some NIL money, he needs to watch that. He needs to know that too. That look, man, because they not just gonna keep paying you if you're not producing. You know, they give them they paying players, but they paying players to produce. Even on the college level, and you don't even want to talk about the professional level. They will cut your ass so damn quick, it don't make no sense, especially in the NFL. They don't even they can just cut you. You know what I mean? In NBA, contracts are more, they're guaranteed, so they got to hold on to you for a little while, but the NFL, they can just cut you. So you got to have heart, you got to want it, and if you are a parent, you have to know what's going on. I heard this, and I think this is true, and I'm not going to stop saying this. A father is the bridge to the outside world. You got to know what's going on in the outside world. Your son wants to play football. Your son wants to play basketball. Your son is getting these type of offers. You got to know what's going on in that world. You can't just be game goofy and not know what's going on and think these people just going, oh, they're gonna take care of my son. Oh, they're gonna take care of him all right. They gonna take care of him all right. So that was this episode of the Raising Carter podcast with my special guest Vernon Starks. Man, you got any parting words you want to say to the people?
Man, I personally know a lot of families that are going through this stage right now. This is their first year kid in a Division I school, and they got to make decisions. So make the best decision for you. A lot of the times, if you grew up in a certain environment, you're taking the money. It's not a question because you want to get out of that situation. But think about what's going to be best for you and your kid. And like Ramon said, know what's going on. Sit down with these people. Know what you're getting yourself into. Know what type of situations that these kids are going to be put in before you make that decision.
I just want to piggyback on that real quick. You made a great point. And also for the student athlete, make the best decision for you, not your parents. You know what I mean? Make the best decision for you. What's your goal? What's your goal? What, you know what I mean? What do you want out of this thing? Because you the one, when it's all said and done, gotta live with it. You the one who's gonna have regrets, like, man, I should have stayed there, or I should have left, or your parents don't have to deal with that. They don't have to deal with, they gotta deal with you talking about it. But you student athlete, you young man, young lady, you gotta live with it. You know, and it ain't nothing you can do with regrets. It ain't nothing you can do about the past. It's gone. It's gone. So, like I said before, make your next move your best move. You don't gotta, you know, stretch it out. Try to take as long as you can to make your decision, but make the best decision for you. So that was this episode of the Raising Podcast. My special guest, Vernon Starks. Man, it was good to have you back, brother. Man, and if you're listening to this video, if you're watching this video, check out this video right here. Got a bunch of other videos with me and my brother Vernon Starks, so check those out. And if you're listening to this video, what are you waiting on? Click on the next episode.
Let's talk about the struggles.
Yeah, let's talk about the joys.